Well, for more on this story, we're joined by Ivan Eland, who's the director of the Center on Peace and Liberty at the Independent Institute there in the States, in Washington. So as we're reporting, Russia and the US are insisting the arrests won't affect the progress made in their current resetting of relations. Do you think that's feasible?
Well, I think so. There's a problem that there were 10 people arrested, so this is usually more than the typical arrests in these types of incidents. But I think it actually comes at a bad time for Obama, because he is trying to improve relations with Russia. But the law enforcement case apparently was pressed to fruition by the fact that one of the suspects was leaving the country, and they thought he might be leaving permanently. So I think it's inconvenient for Obama, but I doubt if it will impair U.S.-Russian relations, simply because both countries, these things tend to be tit for tat. The Russians will probably do something in return, and that will be the end of it, because all nations know that spying goes on all the time by various nations against friends, foes alike. So everybody really spies on everybody, to be honest. And so I think it's sort of a game, and everybody expects an occasional arrest, that sort of thing. So, but I think it is a little embarrassing, because this is on the front page of the paper because 10 people were arrested. If only 1 or 2 had been arrested, it would probably be in the back pages of the paper. So the sheer volume of the case is causing problems for the Obama administration.
But nevertheless, the timing is very awkward when we've seen just a meeting between the two. And indeed, Sergei Lavrov mentioned the fact that yesterday it could be perhaps some form of movement within the states to try and offset relations between the two, some sort of conspiracy in some ways. Would you agree with that, though? I mean, who would want to do that?
I don't think it is in this case. I think that the arrests were prompted by the fact that one of the suspects was going to leave the country, maybe for good, and they had to arrest them all, or the other 9 probably would have left as well. So I think this isn't some dark conspiracy, because, of course, the Attorney General, Eric Holder, is one of Obama's people, and he is running the Justice Department, which has the FBI in it. So I doubt if it's a plot to undermine U.S.-Russian relations. I think this case was just going on.
Okay, very quickly, you mentioned the State Department, but perhaps is there some sort of confrontation or some conflict going on between the U.S. Department of State distancing itself there from the Justice Department's decisions there? Is there some sort of game being played behind the scenes, do you think?
No, I think what you're seeing is just incoherent bureaucracy. I mean, the State Department is in charge of relations with other countries, and of course they want the Russian-U.S. relations to improve, because Obama does. I think that's significant. And the FBI is a law enforcement agency, and we're a rule of law here in the United States, and therefore if they feel somebody's breaking the law. Now, the FBI isn't always right, and of course these people will be put on trial, and then the juries will decide whether they're guilty of spying or they're not guilty of spying, even though they're not really being charged with spying. Because they don't have a lot of evidence, simply because they weren't very good at getting a lot of information. So I think basically we'll see how the trials come out. But I think this is strictly a law enforcement operation, and it does come at a bad time for Obama. But I don't really think this is any sort of attempt to put a dagger in the heart of improved U.S.-Russian relations.
Okay, Ivan, well, as you say, we'll see what happens, what comes out in court a little later. Thanks very much indeed. Ivan Eland, the director of the Center on Peace and Liberty at the Independent Institute, joining us there in the States. Thanks very much.